My mother texted me after the speeches last night and she said, "Are you a Democrat yet?" This is what I'm dealing with.
Yep, Fox is really going through some things. That was Fox host Jesse Waters saying that his own mom was giving him a phone call saying, "Are you a Democrat yet?" after watching the Democratic National Convention. By the way, I know Jesse Waters' mom happens to be a big MeidasTouch fan. What's going on? What's up? Thanks for supporting the Meidas Mighty. So what does Jesse Waters do? Not take his mom's advice. Instead, he spreads this like weird and creepy rumor that Governor Walz, because he taught in China, that means that the CCP must have compromat on Governor Walz because Governor Walz had his honeymoon in China. So imagine what China has on Governor Walz. Folks, you can't make this up. Play this clip.
Tiananmen Tim's now under congressional investigation for his mysterious trips to communist China, 30 of them. During a decade, nobody went to China. He honeymooned there, which means the Chi-Coms have surveillance tapes of his honeymoon night. Think about it.
Yep, and then you had Jesse Waters saying the same thing last night, and the night before with MAGA Republican Congress member James Comer. Again, listen to what he's saying here. It is a very strange and just creepy thing to even think about. And then in this clip right here, Jesse Waters says, forget about Donald Trump's NP tape. This is far more compromising that Governor Walz may have honeymooned in China. For real, this is what Fox is going with. Play this clip.
China, and you know about China, Congressman. You did this when you looked into Hunter. When you go to China, they surveil you. If an American goes to China 30 times in the 90s, they have surveillance footage of him. They have surveillance footage probably of his honeymoon night. What kind of compromise is that? They were worried about Trump and a P-tape situation. That was all made up. This is serious business.
It's very serious. China thinks long term. It's very possible that China would be grooming an up-and-coming rising star in the political process to try to have a foothold in our government. I mean, they've done this in the military. We've caught them with spy rings in our universities. This is how China operates. They think long term. And again, I can't say this enough. When you look at Hunter Biden's ties with communist China, it was for money. It looks like Walz's ties may be for ideology, and this is something that we should be concerned about, and we're trying to gather as much information as we can, as quick as we can, to present to the American people.
It says it a lot about Kamala Harris that she...
Here, by the way, Dana Perino, one of the Fox correspondents, used to work in the Bush administration. Here she talks about just the energy at the DNC, and she's like, look, all I'm telling you is that they've raised over $500 million thus far, Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Walz. They're packing multiple stadiums on the same night. Republicans have a problem. Here, watch this.
I want to add one thing. I think Jackie Heinrich reported this morning that I guess about the riff. I don't doubt that someone told her that. I actually wondered, though, when I saw it, if we were being punked. Typically, the candidate isn't here all 4 nights. Also, what Kamala Harris did last night, she went to a swing state. They filled another arena, the same one that President Trump was in, and we all were in a month ago. And the thing that's quite incredible is that why would they do that? Well, one of the reasons is because David Plouffe, who's now running this campaign, and he had run the Obama campaigns, he knows exactly how to get new voters' phone numbers and their names, and I bet that all of them were contacted today to said, will you vote? Can we count on you to vote? Can you give us $20? They just raised $500 million in the last month, and 62% of the people that donated are people who never even gave a dime to Joe Biden. So I think that was also probably the strategic reason to have her there in a swing state trying to get...
Then, of course, Jessica Tarlov here is just pitch perfect. She's the one pro-democracy voice on Fox. Play this clip.
Donald Trump's own administration got an extra 501,000 jobs magically out of thin air that had to be revised down. So if you think that what Kamala or what Joe Biden did was fraudulent, then you think what Donald Trump did was fraudulent.
How much were they revised down?
Oh, you're going with that? So
how much were they revised down?
They were fake jobs. Sorry, he's sitting next to me.
Can I go?
They don't exist. One thing that...
Then you had Jesse Waters complaining that Barack Obama made fun of Donald Trump. And remember when Barack Obama said, what's this guy's obsession with crowd sizes? Here, watch this.
Barack Obama even said Trump has a small Anthony Weiner.
Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing to Kamala. There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes.
And then here, Laura Ingraham, one of the Fox hosts, she complains that the Obamas were too mean to Trump, just being too mean. Here, play the clip.
They sometimes sound like a bunch of mean girls in the cafeteria.
We have a choice, America, between the man who left our country a total mess and the woman who has spent 4 years cleaning it up.
Doubling down on ugly, misogynistic, racist lies as a substitute for real ideas and solutions.
This weird obsession with crowd sizes.
The Kamala crew is unserious, and that now includes the Obamas, who stole the show with one-liners trashing Trump, something we'd expect from snarky late-night TV hosts, not necessarily from a president and a former first lady.
I love this response here from the only pro-democracy voice on Fox, Jessica Tarloff, where she goes, after all that Trump said about Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, they're okay to say that. Play this clip.
But those were compelling, well-delivered speeches that were exactly what Kamala needed. And people complaining about the tone or the tenor of it obviously didn't watch the RNC, which was all about demonizing Joe Biden, and have forgotten, I guess, that Donald Trump was an OG birther. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama need never be kind about that man for saying what he did about them.
By the way, our Gen Z correspondent who's at the DNC right now, Adam Mockler, asked Jamie Raskin about what his view was on Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and Democrats finally punching back at Donald Trump and mocking him. Watch what Jamie Raskin had to say here. Play this clip.
How are you doing today, sir? So, can I ask you, first of all, introduce yourself. Everyone knows you, but introduce yourself.
It's Congressman Jamie Raskin from Maryland's beautiful 8th District.
I want to ask you, how do you feel about Michelle Obama's evolution from saying, when they go low, we go high, to her not pulling punches?
You know, we go high in terms of our values, our ambitions, and our aspirations for America. But the post-Trump Democratic Party is a very different party than the pre-Trump party because we know what these people are capable of. Fraud, violence, corruption, and we're not taking any nonsense from them. We're calling it out. So I'm totally with Michelle Obama.
Do you think?
As a kid, I loved eating cereal, but as an adult, I don't want all that sugar, and most cereals don't give me the protein I need. Then I found Magic Spoon, a nostalgically delicious cereal that tastes just like my childhood favorites, but without the sugar and with a ton of protein. And if you're already a Magic Spoon fan like I am, I have big news. Magic Spoon has turned their super popular cereal into high protein treats that are light, crispy, and taste just like those classic crunchy cereal bars. Magic Spoon's brand new treats are so delicious and have already become my favorite before and after gym snack. Every serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs, so you can feel good about what you are eating. The most popular flavors are fruity and cocoa, and there's so many more. I love the cocoa ones. Magic Spoon's brand new treats are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 11 grams of protein on the go. And for the first time ever, Magic Spoon treats are available in grocery stores with delicious flavors like marshmallow and chocolate peanut butter, chocolatey peanut butter. I personally love Magic Spoon's chocolatey peanut butter treats. I have one every morning to start the day off on the right foot, and I know you will love it as well. Get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/Meidas or look for Magic Spoon in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/Meidas. MEIDAS for $5 off. Magic Spoon, hold on to the dream. Magicspoon.com/Meidas. And by the way, the fact that Jesse Waters and Laura Ingraham are out there complaining that people are being just too mean to Donald Trump, come on. Give me a break. Was it 2 nights ago Jesse Waters was on Fox saying that he's sending people to Hawaii to find former President Barack Obama's birth certificate? For real, they're bringing back the birth certificate crap again. Here, play this clip.
There is a weird vibe going on. I can't figure it out. But I will tell you this, Greg. Barack Obama, still the godfather of this machine. He gave us Joe Biden as VP. He gave us Hillary as Secretary of State. Then he cooed Joe, put all his boys with Kamala's team, and had his wingman Holder vet Walz. Now, the guy's a young 63. He's going to be doing this for the next 25 years. He's definitely going to interfere in this election. That's why we'll be sending Johnny to Hawaii to get the truth about the birth certificate. This time we will dig deep and find out what really happened.
Gotta love Tim Ryan here on Fox. Play the clip.
The Trump record is one thing, a tax cut that went primarily to the richest people in the country and left everybody out. You guys couldn't pass an infrastructure bill, Kelly, at all, Kelly. You tried. You couldn't do it. Every week was infrastructure week in the Trump
really
White
don't
House.
Want to talk about Kamala.
All right, well,
he says everything
our conversation at
I
the
just
break.
told you what I just told you what the Biden what the Biden Harris thing.
We haven't heard. She doesn't have anything on her policy list, so it's a little thin for discussion at this point.
These are all things that have
more than she has spoken in a month. Tim Ryan,
That's
everybody, speaking.
I'm not even sure what Harrison Faulkner, Fox host, even means here. Play this clip.
Yeah, and Barack Obama did say that. Everybody's worth listening to. I don't know if you want to sit down with anti-Semitics, but I guess that's one's choice. Kaylee?
So then these MAGAs have to live in their own universe where they claim that Kerry Lake is winning the race in the Arizona Senate, despite every poll having her behind. Take a look at this. You have MAGA Republican Senator Steve Daines on Fox. And, Neil Cavuto pushed back. I think that's pretty good that at least he pushed back. Here, play this clip.
Arizona, another open seat. Kerry Lake right now is tied, running against her opponent, who is the most liberal Senate candidate on the ballot, Ruben Gallego. We like our odds in Arizona. Look at Maryland, Larry Hogan, outstanding candidate, another open seat. In a state that Larry was the elected Republican governor twice, in a state that we know that Kamala Harris will win. Maryland, that's nothing new, but Larry Hogan is one of these maverick kind of independent guys.
He certainly is. But in the case of his situation in Maryland, Kerry Lake, of course, in Arizona, the latest polls seem to show about a 4 to 5 point gap favoring the Democrat. Now, that could change, to your point, but one way or the other, it will be kind of a battle right down to November, right?
Well, it will. And just remember, Schumer's got to pitch a perfect game here in every one of these races, including Montana, and he's got to beat either Ted Cruz or Rick Scott in those states if he ever wants to hold this majority. So just looking.
Then J.D. Vance makes yet another terrible appearance on Fox. Play this clip.
How do you guys make that pitch of, okay, you guys are great on policy. It seems like when you look at the polling data, the American people actually agree with you on policy. But there's that other element. People vote based on how they feel. And I'm not just talking about when they go to the grocery store or anything like that, but they need to connect with you. So how do you layer good policy with good feelings as well? Because that seems to be an Achilles heel of the Republican Party. Even the guys I talked to yesterday, they said, listen, they come off a little corny sometimes, a little cheesy sometimes. So how do you make being a Republican, a conservative, cool again?
Well, the way that I do it, Lawrence, and this is just my approach, is that I talk about my family and I talk about my personal history, and I try to make people understand that we care about how this country is governed because we know that real people suffer. I mean, I think if you're, a strong man at a barber shop, one of the things you believe in is that you ought to take care of people, you ought to protect people, and you ought to get American leaders in there that are going to make your community stronger and more prosperous. And so how can we better make that case than talk about the ways in which our leadership can affect the lives of real people?
And as Aaron Rupar says here, Harris Faulkner murders irony by complaining to Maria Bartiromo about the media not asking tough questions. Play this clip.
The fact that what happened to day one? Why is it even necessary, Maria, that we see such a complicit liberal and legacy media love fest going on with no hard questions from her, but also not the hardcore press on why won't you take questions?
It's unbelievable.
Like if this were Donald Trump or any other Republican or conservative, They would have the countdown on 24 hours a day. Oh, they must be hiding something, whatever. Well, why can't we ask those same questions with the Democratic candidates? I think we can and we should, and it's our responsibility as journalists to do it. But this is day one. This is day one reset. I mean, we've seen a rollout of Kamala Harris like 10 times since 31 days ago. Yeah. But it isn't. And Donald Trump has said it. The former president said her day one was 3.5 years ago. Of course. They ought to be ready for this.
Yeah. And for
Here's MAGA Republican Congress member Ryan Zink here from Montana. And here he claims borders don't exist. They don't exist anymore. Here, play this clip.
Looking at the border, we have no border. Let's just be clear. We have no border. We have thousands of terrorists coming across our border.
Yeah, and while all of that's going on, by the way, here is the My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell, basically like harassing a 12-year-old and like was trying to debate a 12-year-old and just getting destroyed by the 12-year-old. This was captured exclusively on the MeidasTouch coverage of the DNC. Play this clip.
That's in your state. You want to know more in your state? So they just found 257,000 votes. This happened last week. A judge ruled in Georgia that are missing from the 2020 election.
So
this just came out. You're behind.
So your sources trust me, bro? That's your source?
The source. It's in your papers in Georgia. You need to read your news.
You haven't given me any last name.
You need to read your news. No, this is your Georgia news.
Yeah.
This is your Georgia.
Thanks, buddy.
Have a good day, sir. Let's keep walking.
And by the way, just so you remember when Jesse Waters kind of first got this hosting job on Fox, when his mom called in and warned him not to behave the way he's behaving now. Here, play this clip.
We have a very special guest on the line, a Democrat, my mom. Mom?
Hello
how have
there,
you...
Jesse.
Hello there, Mom. How have you enjoyed the show so far?
I have enjoyed the show. I want to say congratulations, Honey Bun. We are so proud of you and your accomplishments, and you've worked so hard. Now let's aim to have you keep your job. And to that end, I do have some suggestions.
Okay.
Do not tumble into any conspiracy rabbit holes. We do not want to lose you, and we want no lawsuits.
Okay.
In keeping, I have a list here. In keeping with the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm. We need you to be kind and respectful. You yourself mentioned that humble is a stretch, so I get that. Use your voice responsibly to promote conversation that maintains a narrative thread. There really has been enough Biden bashing, and the laptop is old. Perhaps you could suggest that your people take less interest, for example, in other people's bodies, and talk about that.
Yes, and unfortunately, Jesse Waters did not take his very smart mom's advice right there. But you know, she's a member of the Meidas Mighty, and you know, I don't know what to tell you about. I don't know what to tell you about Jesse. We know. We all know the damage that he's causing. Anyway, I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.